Okay, let's dive in. Imagine this. Someone's last moments, but they're not hidden. They're happening live, right on screen, during a stream.
Yeah, it's a deeply disturbing scenario. A real-life horror story playing out for an online audience.
And that's what we're exploring today, the truly chilling case of Valeria Marquez.
It is chilling. And the public nature of it, the live stream aspect, that's really central to why it's so impactful. We're piecing together the events around her death, events broadcast, horrifyingly, to the world.
So Valeria Marquez, she was young, just 23, based in Jalisco, Mexico. She was really making a name for herself as a beauty influencer, and she also owned her own salon.
Right, building her presence on platforms like TikTok, Instagram, connecting with people.
And her content, from everything we've gathered, it sounds like it was really positive. Makeup tutorials, she'd play soft music, just chat with her followers. Very bright, very calming.
A source of light, as he said, which makes the contrast with what happened just stark. It's this image of a really vibrant, positive online personality clashing head-on with brutal sudden violence.
And there were these hints, maybe.
Hmm.
In the days leading up to it, the date we're focusing on is May 13th, 2025.
Right, the day of her final live stream.
Before that, she'd apparently mentioned some weird messages she was getting. An anonymous gift showed up at her salon, some strange accounts interacting with her online.
Things that, at the time, probably seemed minor. Annoying, maybe, but easily dismissed. Just online noise.
Exactly. Fleeting things you might brush off until you look back.
Hindsight changes everything, doesn't it? Those small, strange occurrences suddenly feel heavy, almost like faint warning signs that were missed.
So May 13th, she
Oh.
starts her live stream. She's in her salon. It's daytime, natural light, wearing a pink top, not a lot of makeup, just seemed very normal.
Yeah, interacting with her viewers, answering comments, talking about skincare, the music playing. Just a regular day, a regular stream.
And that normalcy is what makes the intrusion of violence so shocking, right? This familiar, comfortable online space she'd created.
Absolutely. It highlights a vulnerability we don't often think about, even when we feel connected online.
Then there's a knock at the door. She tells her viewers, "Un momento, chicos." Just a moment, guys.
And the sources mention a subtle shift then, a flicker in her eyes maybe, a little tension that wasn't there before.
Just a tiny detail, but it speaks volumes now, doesn't it? That sense that something felt off, even just for a second.
A disruption to her expected reality, yeah. Even before anything overtly threatening happened.
She gets up, moves off camera, out of the frame. And then what the viewers heard was just fragmented, chilling.
Reports mention a muffled voice first, then another knock, and after that, a sharp, very loud sound.
The phone apparently jolted, like physically moved from the impact or vibration.
And then just silence. The stream cuts off. Abruptly.
Can you imagine watching that? The initial confusion must have been immense.
Totally. People probably thought, oh, bad connection, technical glitch, happens all the time on stream.
But then minutes pass, she doesn't come back. No message, nothing.
That's when the confusion would turn to, well, real concern. Anxiety. That growing dread as the silence stretches out online.
The awful confirmation came later that evening. Police were called, and they found Valeria in her salon. She was deceased. Multiple gunshot wounds.
Just devastating. And the investigation quickly uncovered more. Security footage from a shop nearby.
Right, it showed two men. They entered her salon just minutes before the stream ended, casually dressed.
And one of them was carrying a gift bag.
That detail is particularly sinister, isn't it? The gift bag.
It really is. It suggests planning, deception, a way to get her to open the door, maybe, lower her guard. The prosecutor mentioned they might have posed as delivery men.
So this wasn't random. It points towards her being specifically targeted.
That seems to be the strong implication, yes. The calculated nature of it.
And the fact this all unfolded, the final moments, while she was live. The impact on her followers who witnessed even parts of it must be unimaginable.
Utterly traumatizing. The sources pulled quotes from the comment sections, things like, she was just smiling, or it happened right in front of us.
That feeling of being a witness, but completely powerless, seeing something horrific through a screen, unable to do anything.
It's a truly modern kind of horror, isn't it? The digital collapsing of distance. These weren't just viewers, they became virtual bystanders to murder.
The investigation in Jalisco is treating it as a possible hired attack, a targeted killing.
Motives are still unclear, though. That's often the hardest part to uncover. But the execution suggests planning.
Local news reported she didn't have any known ties to crime or anything like that. But Jalisco, It's a complex region.
Exactly. So investigators have to explore various possibilities. Organized crime is a factor in the region, unfortunately, but it could also be something deeply personal. Jealousy, a feud, someone she knew.
Someone she trusted, even.
That's often a line of inquiry in targeted attacks. They're meticulously going through everything, surveillance footage, her phone records, online activity, trying to piece together who would want to harm her and why.
No arrests have been made yet, as far as we know.
No, not yet. These investigations can be complex, especially if it was a professional hit. Tracing the perpetrators, and especially whoever might have ordered it, takes time.
The actual live stream video was taken down, thankfully, out of respect for Valeria and her family.
A necessary step. But the digital footprint remains, doesn't it? Screenshots, short audio clips, even those slowed down videos focusing on her smile just before they circulate.
That image of her, frozen in time right before the end, it's haunting.
It really is. And it speaks to how moments, even tragic ones, persist online. These digital echoes keep the event present in a very unsettling way.
You know, the source material stresses that this isn't just a simple cautionary tale about being online. It's more profound than that.
I agree. It's less about don't be online and more a brutal illustration of the fragility, the potential disconnect between online presence and real-world safety.
She was in her own salon, a familiar place, well lit, surrounded, virtually at least, by thousands of people in her stream.
And yet completely vulnerable in that physical moment. It's that paradox. Immense visibility online, but zero actual protection from a real-world threat right there.
It feels like a stark awakening to the limits of that digital connection, the illusion of safety it can sometimes provide.
A very harsh awakening. And sadly, as the analysis points out, this probably isn't the last time we'll see something like this. The intersection of online life and real-world violence is a growing concern.
It forces you to ask some really uncomfortable questions. Like, what does it really mean if thousands of people can see you, but no one can actually protect you in that instant?
What happens when the screen, the interface of connection, becomes just a passive witness to violence?
How many more stories, how many more lives might get cut short mid-sentence, captured by the very technology that's meant to bring us closer?
These are the critical, unsettling questions Valeria's tragic death forces us all to confront. The lines between online and offline are so blurred now, and new vulnerabilities are emerging in that space.
It really leaves you thinking about that strange modern condition. Being incredibly visible online, yet potentially profoundly vulnerable in the physical world.
And maybe thinking about the role of the audience, too. What does it mean to be part of that vast, silent witness pool when real events, even horrific ones, unfold on the other side of the screen? It's a heavy thought to end on.